plan to release some trailers. I guess update announcements. Because why not? I hope my accent won't be much of an issue. To be fair, I don't really speak much in English. I mean, technically, it's not alternative history. I'm technically did YouTube for quite a few years. I never succeeded in it, but I still did it. Because everyone wanted to be a YouTuber back then.
True.
I
still
remember
kinda
like
want-
all the kids wanted to like
Yeah.
people were like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a YouTuber.
I mean,
Hey guys,
I never
welcome
wanted
to my
be...
Let's Play.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yes.
god.
But
Hey
one
guys,
good
welcome
thing
to my
from that
1.13 Let's
is
Play.
I have a good record of myself through years, so that's a nice thing. I can just revisit all
Hey
stuff.
guys, welcome to my Call of Duty Let's Play. Oh my god, you killed me! Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually had a 1.13 Let's Play. It's private now, but I go back and watch it sometimes just to see how bad I was. Very.
Yeah.
Were you raging?
Oh no.
No, I was playing 1.13, and you know how the maps would always show like the same buried treasure within like a certain radius? I found like 7 of them, and they all pointed to like the same chest because there was no other chest in the radius. It was really funny. I made a bug report even.
I know that pain. And someone is staying with Figura.
Someone is a suffocating network.
It's a skill issue.
Anyways,
I mean,
I actually have to go because I work. I'm sorry, Pat.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy your talk.
Oh, thanks. And I can already answer. It would be nice on one hand, but yeah. It's not, I guess, the point for wishes.
What's the bedrock doing?
I don't know. I will check with this.
Wow, don't
Oh
hit
yeah,
me.
someone's having some fun. I use the usual F3 plus N shortcut and forgot I'm in survival. Okay, is someone here recording just in case it's because I want to have it recorded. Yep, okay, that's good. Oh, nice. More people the better. Yeah, just in case, because if one recording gets corrupted, rest will work. Okay, so yeah, I should start in a minute. I prefer to wait. Maybe a few more people will show up.
Are we good to start in a minute?
Yeah. Oh god, the tomato sound, it's terrible. It's so squishy. Yes, snowballs are fine. There are more server side. So, hello everyone, I'm Patbox and I develop server-side mods, which I guess many of you already know. And I will, I guess, talk about server-side, how you do stuff, how you develop, and how you might end up hating the users. Because yeah, a lot of people just can't read, and you end up with people asking about the same thing for the nth time, even if someone just like answered it 2 messages ago. Yeah, it's pain. Thankfully, I'm not the person doing the support. Yeah, it's starting. So, okay, where is the thing? Yeah, next slide. The whole classic does. The epic block will have a talk about entities and polymc. Well, after nucleoid events, so you might want to see it. So, what is Evans the server side? Like, is it just client side or is there more to it? Well, technically it's just like that, but not really. You can write server-side mode with vanilla in mind, which is I think I do, but you can technically make server-side modes that, for example, require you to have something on the client, like a server-side Pixelmon add-on, for example, or whatever other popular mod there is. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, Create too, if you wanted. And the promise is simple. You just make a mod that just runs on the server and you don't really care about the client. You just have some basic setup and that's about it. And yeah. And what can be a server-side mod? Well, of course, some chat utilities, so in general, like administrative tools. But there you can have climbs, of course. But you can make a tech mod, like I'm currently trying to do, which I guess it is my second try, which I can talk about it later. So let's start with the boring stuff, which is not exactly that boring, which is the typical server-side modes. So style chat, style player lists, the hologram thing with the Tater, of course, I needed to snack one in, or Banhammer. These tools are, from the usual point, kinda boring. Like, what do they do? What they change the gameplay? But, for example, here on BlanketCon, the tab list is from styled chat, and it has nice image, shows info, and shows list of events, so you can just check it quickly and know how much you need to wait. For styled chat, it's used here too. You can have fancy formatting, like something I will just copy from a document I made. Yeah, because I'm more prepared than last year. Or like you have the brackets around the names, which indicates ranks. Yeah, I can talk about it later, but it's funny. Yeah, we have that. But of course, when you make like out of styled mods, you need to somehow integrate them with other mods, and which it's well, with just with regular mods or other mods or my own, or just someone wants to have compat. You don't want to have like need to target 4 APIs. You want to target a single API, and I made a lot of APIs. I mean, technically, I didn't make Plasmid, but I helped maintaining it. But like SGUI, which is standard for server side, chest-wise, the map canvas API, which is less of a standard, but I don't think there's anything else for that. The polymer, which some people are scared of, some love it. It depends whatever you are more of regular modder or not. Yeah, some people are scared of polymer, which I'm not surprised. It's in the past it's broke mods, and now mods break polymer, so I guess it's the same. And sorry, I mean for mixing into your code, just in case. Yeah, and common mods, which allow you to simply have better compatibility, like common protection API, which allows mods to just commonly check if the areas claim it, which wasn't standard until basic. You just pinged people and start talking about on the of Fabric Discord, which thanks, you kind of make it a standard through that. And well, thanks to it, a lot of mods, to be fair, common protection API is already supported, I think, by all protection mods. So it's fun. So you can just target a single API. But to be fair, what do you do with a lot of APIs? Well, you can of course do typical mods, but you can also do the content modding on the server, which is what I do. You can do it in a few ways. You don't need all items to make a content. You can just edit an entity, that's some special behavior, but you can also just add entities, or maybe add some blocks, some with special functions. You can use resource pack, you don't need to use resource pack. And this what I show, didn't use resource packs, which is, I guess, no, I guess, okay, my slide order is a bit, yeah, my slide order is a bit wrong, but you, of course, need something like, why not Brewery? Brewery is a good example of server-side mod that doesn't use any textures. But first I will set up GOM, get off my lawn, which technically is a climb mod, but I count it as a content mod because arguments for climbs exist and they change behavior. So I can fly, and I'm in survival, so if someone tried to kill me, they could. Please don't do it. I have respawn not too far. But yeah. With yes. Nice tomatoes. Yeah. So, for example, Brewer, you just build something from vanilla blocks, and it's not a vanilla block. It uses polymer to get the thing working. Patbox big on my stream. Ooh. Ah, nice. So, yeah, I will just awkwardly build it quickly, which my building speed isn't the greatest. And I misplaced the block, so quick creative because I didn't. Yeah, I should thought about it. I should take some tools. And like use special item. Automatically becomes a barrel. Change a look. And it technically is server side. It's all vanilla. The block itself looks like a regular stair, but technically it's not a stair. The lines there, there are display entities with player heads. It's a little bit of ugly hack, but it works, and it could kill performance, but it doesn't. Yeah, you have technically, but the barrel vanilla is like not great. Yeah, these were made with player heads because like how you get textures otherwise, and so on. What yeah, I guess armor Santa, but I won't showcase that. Or tatters, I guess they are here. But you can also go a little step further and go. No, there's still Polydex, yeah. But so yeah, you need what is the most common mods you see in modpacks? You see some kind of Wyla and recipe viewer like Amy, or I guess Ray, Timmy, or whatever you want. And I present you Wyla and Amy at home. Yeah, Polydex, which uses a simple GUI and can show you recipes, whatever they are, vanilla or custom ones, and just items. Yeah. Tak, yeah, of course. I mean, some people just have Polydex, Emmy, or Whale at home, so why not? And yeah, you can see just use no textures, just some glass panes, and it works fine. And fun fact, the name Polydex was created from polymer plus index because it's literally index for polymer mods. That's the entire name. Okay, Polydex is fine, it's useful, but it's boring. What if I told you the image doesn't render? God, I love that. Or does it render? Maybe it's my internet. It is video. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, it renders for me. I guess it's networking. So here we go. Computer craft running on the server. The vanilla client is, I mean, technically outdated one because I still need to update it to latest. But full. Mouse works, keyboard works, and you can just, yeah. Keyboard works by using, oh yeah, it takes, it's a little big file. I guess something should make a preloading. Yep, and it's all displayed with maps, and there's no textures, and if nothing. And yeah, there will be monitor showcase. Sometimes might be some are seeing it, some will. Yep. And it's all server side. No items, I guess custom items. And some people are already scared of that because it is a bit of packets, but it works nicely. And if someone wants to know how the entire thing works, is the player is riding I think a horse, so I can block E button and generally capture things, and the player is also spectating the same horse with packets. So technically, player is spectating and riding the same entity, which is also made with packets. And this bugs the client, so nothing moves. But you can detect the mouse movement. Yeah. Yeah, the player is riding a horse, we're spectating the horse. But What if I told you can also use resource pack? What if we use, let's say, we add our resource packs to Polydex, so it's fancy while aiming at home. Because why not? And yeah, you can check it out with /polydex command if someone wants to check it now. Or later, why not? So, by adding some resource packs, we can make it look more like actual GUI. Of course, there is still a lot of difference from just using made one with code, but it's nicer and more fits if more mods are using resource packs. Which Polydex. Wait, does the render right or okay? I think just picture science is broken. Yeah, I think it just takes a while to download. Oh yeah, and it's at least it's short. So it's a sample mechanism which I can build here because Polydex is here. Because why wouldn't it be? If I place, for example, some sticky conveyors, these are our server side. These are barriers. And the barriers use a bit of, I guess, magic. Well, an item display, which allows me to not only have multiple models and everything seems like it's connected, which a lot of servers, well, client-side mods don't. And I can make it move, but do I have everything? I do have everything, right? I'm not really greatly prepared. Doing presentations isn't my thing. But if I, let's say, give a gearbox, few axles, yeah, building is a bit slow when server lags, because of course it's server side, but it's not too bad. And if I just put some sails, it starts to move. When I, for example, drop an item, it starts to move. And yeah, everything here is made on the server. So if someone with vanilla joined it, it would just look like that. Nothing would change. Maybe it would be faster because TPS isn't great. If I wanted to, let's say, get a drawer, because of course, I can place some and let's say put one of this, one of that, maybe drawers into drawers. Which, fun fact, I stole the way you interact with them from packages because it worked well. I didn't have better idea. So thought I took what for making a cool mod. Yeah, and then everything in vanilla. Okay, yeah. I can. Nope. I will just go back. I guess. Nope. Yeah. Okay. That should help. For example, something like that. I can work. It's of course a bit of barrier magic. But since, entities are server side, I can just make them go through. Which makes pretty useful for contraptions. And I guess since you want get particular pieces ported, it will be useful too. Since you can just do that. Okay, I will clean up the stage. It's kinda messy here. Okay, I think I can leave that. Yeah, I will leave the windmill. It's cool. Okay, and the packet count. It's an important thing. Okay. So Polydex uses a simple load system because if you spend too many packets, it's not gonna end well. So it changes with distance, which requires logic. It's kind of junk, but it kind of works. Something more. Okay, so okay, it loaded. Nice. So what's next? Like more nucleoid mega games? Polyfactor 2, maybe too many daters. What's next versions we bring? I mean, server side is still at least on the fabrics and Quilt quite young. There's a lot of things that could be done, but aren't yet because there's not enough people. I have many ideas, just I don't have time. And like Polyf Factory and other projects just eat everything. And of course, my life, because I can't just sit all the time at the computer. I need to do something else. But how Minecraft changes the server side? It has changed quite a lot. Like, Polyfactory works and looks so well just because Mojang added the display entities in 1.19.4, which make a lot of difference. Like, here is Stutter without display entities, and here's with one, and it animates if I click. And next versions, well, added more, like, for example, the trim system, which can be used by server-side mods and can be defined on clients. In the past, biomes there are no server-side. What else? I think more tags are also. So I didn't list everything because I didn't think so. But what if I told you? There are some things I know about, but I didn't use them. Like, you know Behui, the funny size changing mod. I don't need it to make players small with vanilla client. I can just I can just make players small with a couple of packet tricks. And no word size is the same. Everything is the same. Just entity gets small. And how it gets small? I hope it loads quickly. Yep. I will credit. I didn't found that. I will copy the nickname because yeah. Oh yeah. So it's I don't know, half column O's, and on the Fabric server side the Discord found it, and I later just found how they did it because they didn't tell me. And yeah, I can just, with a small bit of packet spam, making player think they are in the sleeping position, make players smart. And like, it works both on the server and on the client, which is a fun trick. But remember the computer craft? You could, of course, you move the keyboard, but you didn't have WSD. What if I could tell you you can have WSD? And everything else, every single button, Shift, Space, Q, E, technically numeric ones, entire mouse. It needs a while to load, of course, yeah. And it's all detected on the server. Client is vanilla. Okay, nice. Which is a trick with, if you can see, there's a little bit of a dot with me on the boat, which allows me to both move and detect mouse. Yeah, my internet isn't the best. It could be better. yeah, don't worry. And which this could, maybe not for more regular things, use for a minigame, like a third person. Of course, it would be better to just have a camera packet, but it's not something that would be too easy. I guess it would require work. But for now, there's a workaround. So if I wanted to make a game with it, I could just fine. And so on. This is everything I kind of wanted to tell you. So, okay, the questions are on. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions, please drop them. I will try to answer everything because, to be fair, I ended quite quickly. Yeah. So if you have any questions, I guess I need to take a tablet from the backstage. Oh no, I have one. Yes. My escape key fell off and it's awkward because I was close UIs with it. I guess I closed UIs too hard and it broke now. So let's see the questions. Can you make my mod server side? I don't know who said that. So, but maybe I could make your mod server side. Like I can make, I guess. Oh yeah, it works. Can I just add PolyMC mod and then other content mods to my server? You can, but not everything will work. You might need to add some or write some add-ons or just configure things. So it's not just out of the box. It's not just something might work out of the box, but you will likely want to configure it. Okay, do you have to use the on-screen keyboard? You don't, it's just a convenience for some buttons. But you can just type it as a command. It detects with the bit of magic, it detects the client asking suggestion to the server, and it can from that get what player pressed. So it's quite intuitive. I could show the video, but why not? Let's see. Here we go. What was one of the biggest changes you face when trying to convert City into full server-side mod? You know what? It was simple. It wasn't hard. Like, I can't really tell you much, because I think the hardest thing was to convert the few textures to blocks, and I guess a bit. Yeah, I think I could say turtles, and maybe making it look right. No, keyboard was the worst because I needed to make it by hand. But it was technically not hard, just requires some time. But yeah, the idea was easy because computer craft heads of things already like working, and I needed to just, fix it up and make it look right. So what's next? What is your thoughts of using custom threshold packs for menus using fonts? Is there a better way to do than replacing Unicode? First of all, the Polyfactory and Polydex use fonts. So maybe I didn't specify that. But yeah, I use fonts because they are nicer than items for some things. But instead of replacing characters, which is a thing people do on Bucket, which you shouldn't, you just define a custom font and I guess define custom any character with a custom font. It makes it easy. And for example, I will type it in chat because that's how the image in tab list works, if I remember. But I hope it works. Nope, not that. Not that I there. Maybe it was this. Okay, I don't remember what it worked, but you can technically tap the same character. Is the icon in tab is that character? Yeah. So someone okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, of course. Icons. Oh, here we go. Here is blanket on icon. Good catch. Good catch. And normal people can. Okay, so, what are the advantages of display entities over armor sense? The advantage of display entity is aside it's maybe a bit faster. It's way more flexible. Like you can with armor stance, you kind of get gimbal locked, and you need to use, the angles. The display blocks and items and text can be scaled in any way. So where's a debug stick? I added it as decorative. For example, if I want, I can easily just add one line of code and made the windmill 2 times bigger, which is something you can do with armor stance. But yeah, you can also scale it asymmetrically, which makes the things even easier. Which some things do. For example, I guess, yeah. Yeah, for example, conveyors use it so they don't zify when you have them crossed like that because they are a bit bigger than a block. I might change that because I'm not sure about it, but we'll see. Okay, next. Yeah, someone take my room. Okay, so server side picture signed when? Server-side picture sign would be just image to map, which is, yeah, it's the closest thing. Okay, so let's see. What are your opinions on mods that allow the server to send blocks and items directly Roblox? My opinion is that I'm not really interested in using them because I can't really use it with vanilla clients. But they are fine. Like, there is nothing wrong with them. If they work, they have unuse. But it's not something I would use personally. I just prefer to either stick to vanilla, or if I did, I would just write a custom mod. Like regular mod, I'm not scared of client-side modding. Unlike some people think, I write sometimes Y code, and I mix it into the client on Polymer, and I do out of networking. How good is SGUI compared to plugins like Deluxe Menus and Strength Guy? Can you make the GUIs in config and like that? Would you possibly add that in the future? Will SGUI support the NF GUI texture features in 1.20.2 when it releases? There is no new features in 1.20.2 for I can use as GUI. That's one mistake, because these are just cleanups for the resource pack makers. So it's not much here, and you can't compare SGUI to the like Deluxe Menus or Triumph GUI, because SGUIs are just a backend library for making GUI easily, and these two are just user-facing plugins. So it also doesn't super configs. It's all code. Yeah, that's action inventory. You can check it out. I think someone else also was working on one. But yeah, it's completely different thing. What is the cost of packet spamming if you include multiple server mods? Is that a way to mitigate the cost? Sleepy Evelyn. So it will only lag if you have a bad connection, B really way too many packets. It should be an issue most of the time. Like, it's not an issue really with polymer, polyfactory. And there's rarity that mods send too many packets on the server. Like, it's mostly my mods and I guess immersive cursedness. And that's about it. I myself don't try to not send too many packets. Okay, yeah. Physics Toys is a take demo, it's not real mod. Yeah, because I made a mod that just adds physics to Minecraft on the server side. I could to be fair showcase it here, but I didn't want to get footage because I was lazy. But yeah, technically it's not an issue, and if it's an issue, you need to talk with dev. Let's see. Oh god, there's so much. Okay. Okay. How did you implement the conveyor belt animation in Polyfactory? It's a texture. I thought about how else I could make it, and to be fair, the texture is only way. Which makes it kind of limiting, so it's not the smoothest, but it works. And you can see it clearly from from nearby. From distance, it's not much. Yeah, animated texture. I can even, yeah, I think I can set up it. Where is the axle? Okay, hand cranked. In a similar way, for example, if I start running it, it starts from a point, but if I stop, it like snaps back a bit. But yeah, animated textures are the best way, because otherwise I didn't need to spam packets or it just would be ugly. And the texture was generated by code, so I didn't make it by hand. It would be pain to make it by hand. Okay, so what's the next question? Can we make players big server side too? I can't do it normal way, but I know some shader data packers are doing some crazy things with shaders, and I think they could make the player models big. And I guess you could emulate that by making player write something and just control things like that. So you could, I guess, emulate that, but it would be a bit maybe janky and depend on ping. Okay, so next one. Do you like the split sources when you start a new mod, or do you keep them together? All my mods are just copies of other mods with code deleted. Or maybe not never, but I really rarely start from the beginning with a fabric template. I just copy the mods, and since my thing is quite old at this point, I never use split resources. And to be fair, once I used it, it was kind of pain, but I think it's more issue with IntelliJ and the compilers. But for normal mods, it's cool things because it's less likely people will just create bugs that break Polymer. Because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. I didn't count it, but there's way too many times it happened. Okay, so the next question, tomatoes. Yeah, people were using it. Oh yeah, it's a stage item. Okay. What did the display mean for your work exactly? For example, you couldn't before kind of display text that's full scalable and doesn't rotate, which I cannot do. So I, for example, can take, where did I put it? Or I didn't put it here because why not? Yeah. Technically, I can port to Glowcase to vanilla, and my client lagged. I love it. Where it is? It's maybe not. It's lagging, but yeah, it's faster than other stand. I can scale it as I want, so I can make things as big as small, and limits aren't a problem. And I can display text in more flexible ways. You can check the Polyfactory booth. It's like further away if you go nearby the station. So it's just as women. Yeah, and they don't exist in Word, so that's thing. I should remove this. Yeah. What's next? I think I don't want to break it, but I think it's because the slides here. I will press button and tell me if it's faster.
Let me restart the system.
Maybe restart. I mean, no, because I want to drop all the questions. I don't want to lose them. I just want to. Oh yeah.
Oh shoot.
Okay, it didn't reset them. Okay. It just you need to hide it. Not sure how you do it. Oh god, my client's dying. And then I mean dying. I don't know why. I guess I will need to face you backwards. No. I don't know how to use it. Here. Okay. Do you have a list of libraries that would be useful to use for making common site mods more compatible with server-side? I mean server-side compatible. If you want to make your mods, technically, if you make content mod, you can make Polymer mod that's client augmented, so it looks modded when client is used. You need to write the good code if you don't want to break server-side mode in this sense. Do you have precise control over the scale in the previous stick? I have exact control. I can make it as small and as big as I want. Question: do I press it or? Okay, it looks like that. Okay, I don't know if I didn't break it. Okay, it works. Nice. So this question was answered. I have full control. How did you implement such relative precise player controller for the Nucleoid virtual April Fool's console? Thank you, Linux, for asking me for an update, and love that. It sometimes does like that. And it just uses, when you, for example, write a minecart and some rails. You know how you can just sit down and move by pressing forward and backwards, which I can't do. I think something broke. Okay, yeah, I can just, it's laggy. So it uses that, yeah, It uses the same system because client sends packets exactly if processes forward, backward, left, right, and it just uses that as data. By the extent I can't use mouse because I need it more precise. But at least I didn't need a mouse really. Let's see what's next. Are there notable libraries or features that you can't or are really hard to make server side? I mean PHP, if you want entire PHP or anything that these guys deploy on the client, or more advanced custom GUIs are pain in the ass to make. You can emulate them, but they won't be as good as regular mods. Because to be fair, of course, if you run on client, it will be more responsive than on server. But on server, it will be compatible with vanilla, which I guess it's a trade-off. Depends what you are working on. But I don't look really on the normal client-side libraries too much because I just develop server-side, so I look at cool mods, so. Oh god. The questions are really never ending. How large of the impact do you think display entities had on server-side development? It's again, yeah, don't worry, a lot. I mean, at least for me, it's allowed for way more control and we allow in way nicer mods in the future because I have some plans for like decorations mods, which this will allow nicely. I will clone some things from our decorations. So sorry for stealing features from mods, but like it's hard not to. If you spam them too much, they will be expensive. If you have moderate amount and you set up them correctly, they won't be too bad. They're still faster than most of the entities, so that's a good thing. Are you limited in the amount of textures you can use with server-side mods? Do you have to mix and match it, or is it fixed? The limit is about the resource pack size. There is no other limit. Like, it works just like regular mods, it just loads everything. And if you set up models, but if you have too many custom model data on a single item, it might be a get laggy if you spam too many of them. So it's best to just spread things about multiple items if you have a lot of data. Like all of the conveyors are on the single items, they use few more. Since like there's 424 for speed and there's all the shapes, which is a lot of models. How far can one push texture packs and display entities without having to employ something like Optifine? You can do a lot, and by a lot I mean a lot, and you don't need Optifine at all to do anything really, because people with shaders made ray tracing. So I mean vanilla shaders, the data pack and resource pack people made ray tracing with vanilla shaders. So I don't think you need Optifine for anything nice. Like you can already use armors. You can make armors technically entities if you make them correctly. So you never likely need to use Optifine unless you are working with like ancient version where it might be needed. But like on modern you don't need it. And how are you just this awesome? I don't know. I guess I was just born like that. I have too much skill. but thanks. I want to greet my mom. Hi, mom. Yeah, great. Yeah, no, Jerry, don't nerf me. You're the only person that can do it. Please don't. Ah. I don't know. I just wanted to make a Minecraft server and somehow ended like that. Don't ask me. I don't know. Is there anything you can't do server side currently that you hope Mojang will make possible in future? I mean, like actual custom wise and unlimited custom blocks and items, which I guess is a common thing Datapack people also wanted. So just and a lot of convenience features, like for example more control over sound engine because it's paying. But I found a weird hack to make a custom disk server side without really hitting the limit, and you can play multiple of them, but it requires a lot of sound events, and by a lot I mean a lot defined in the resource pack. You have a one main one, and then you have like 1,000 of different ones, and you just iterate over IDs so they never collide in a normal setting, which works nicely. I guess you can have few less, but it's a hack. But yeah, having just more control over the client and would be nice. And disabling the client side predictions for some things is pain in the ass. Like I'm currently trying to fix the notebooks updating when people move them with Piston on the client in the Polymer, because I'm pretty sure PolyMC also has this issue. Yeah, and it's pain. Okay, what's next? Any mods you would like to see made server side compatible? Botania. Botania on the server side, because it is possible. I looked into it. It should be possible. It doesn't have things that could really block it. It might be a bit junky in places, but it should be possible. And I guess there's a lot of smaller mods that would be nice, but the smaller mods just either work with PolyMC, I can patch them up. I guess some utility mods would be nice. Nice. Yeah, server-side botany is possible. It's like the idea that's in my head for like a year. I might try myself making it reality myself, but it should be possible. Yeah, it's on Modern. There's a secret. I guess I can drop the link here, just quickly. It's outdated. I planned on updating into 1.20, but I didn't have really time or motivation. But yeah, it's here. You can use it. It's open source because why not? And it's visible. So I guess the license is weird, but it's more of the computer craft things, because computer craft has a weird license. Are there any common APIs planned? I know you like my common APIs. I can say I don't have them planned. I make APIs when I need something. I never plan to make an API, and I may just make an API when I need thing. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, Botania could really work for something like that. I mean, I make APIs when I need them. Why do you dislike client-side modding? There are the problems there. If I say I hate client-side or something like that, never take it seriously. It's a joke. I write client code sometimes myself. Like I can, I guess, link the one of the mods that's more client-side than server-side. I guess it will work server-side, but it's more client-side for things and has more client code than server code. Oh god, I thought, oh, okay, that didn't crash. I nearly crashed. At least it looked like that. And this mod just allows you to change entity view distance depending on the entity type. But it's worse client side, but server side, and I don't feel anything to the client. Server side is just more fun for me. Can PolyMC Polymer be on Forge ever? Officially from me, not. But if someone either ports it, or if that connector project gets far enough to make them run, sure. I guess if the connector works with will work with Polymer, if it ever happens, I might just add support for client register sync. Yeah, but it will likely be broken because currently it just crashed. I tested. Yeah, Synetra connector. I mean this thing. If it works well by that, there will be Polymer on Forge. Otherwise, I'm not. I don't plan on developing on Forge because it would be a waste of time for me. Because I don't use Forge. I only use Fabric. Yeah, it is possible. It should be. Oh. How do you add arbitrary textures? Do you have to rely on specific player playheads existing? For player heads, if I... Yeah, don't worry, I have fun with it. There is a service I use. It can just easily generate you the required data for a player head. I use it all the time if I need to make one. And since Mojang never removes the files, it makes it easy. Through the recent skin reporting might make it fun, but it should be still possible to do it with just your own account. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I'm not against the skill reporting itself, just this one usage might be problematic. I think I need to lower my view distance because I'm lagging as... Okay, I hope that helped. Maybe it could, maybe not. But for normal resource packs, it's just limitation of the how many you can put them and how many the client can use it. Do you have any expectations for 1.20.2, 1.21? The comment on the passions where they added early play, pre-play config is very sus. They didn't exactly add the early play or pre-play. Technically, it's my thing. My plan is just to move some things to config stage and use config stage for more things. So extending the APIs. Okay, yeah. I'm curious if I can just disable it. Because my computer is dying right now. I don't know if there is people... I don't want to break it. So, yeah, I plan just expanding on the usage of that. Yeah, you can. How do you know if my mods can be converted to server-side mode by using Polymer? And a similar way, when do you think mods should and shouldn't be converted to this server-side mod? There is no question if it should and shouldn't. If you want it converted, you just do it. There is nothing you should... I guess you just look if it's you ideally don't do it just so they don't try to sue you over sending assets or something like that. But to be fair, I'm mostly looking how feasible the usage is. Which... Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I can disable it or not. I would fix... I hope I don't break anything. I'm kind of scared of touching this thing. Yeah? Disable picture styles because I think it kinda caused the lags. Some people actually say that. Because okay, thank you. But yeah, there is... usually, if I need a mod... Okay, no, okay, sure. Yeah, might be good too. Oh yeah. I need to check how much memory my PC uses. It's not bad, okay. But yeah, you convert it if you want. That's about it. What what advantages do you think server-side Fabric offers the developers over more traditional server-side APIs like Spigot and Paper? You have mixin. You just have mixins, and mixins allow you to do anything you want with the base game. With Spigot and Paper and other API-based implementations like that, you are way more limited what you can do. I'm pretty sure if they do, Sponge is... I never use Sponge. I guess it allows you. But to be fair, I think Fabric just gives you more freedom. And by bonus, you can just use them with mod packs. So yeah, my server-side mods, some are in mod packs, and bigger mod packs, smaller mod packs. But I didn't really use them much. But yeah, you get way less freedom and more hacky. Is there a way to handle collision boxes alongside display entities? Not really officially and not great, but you can make an invisible shulker with some textures removed and make it technically a box collision. That works. I didn't test it. I might use it for Polyfactory because I want to try making rotating word stuff at least later. But I technically want to make shulker boxes, and yeah, it depends. Technically, bots are a thing. I'm not. I don't think I eat it or just I don't know if it translates to the same thing. I'm Polish, so yeah, can't answer this question. The questions never end. How are the GUIs made for server-side mods, and do the resource packs to load the full GUI rather than glass panes? So the basic UIs are just like the chest, and you just add some items in it. If you add a font or something, or you just don't you add the glass panes, because the server knows when the client has server resource pack, and when you can just automatically toggle that. And Polymer event gives an API for that. So it's quite easy. I guess you can see Polydex code. But yeah, it's not that hard. Just, yeah, you can make emotes. Yeah. Oh god, my client. I think I need to face that way because it lags less. Yeah. I will try to make it faster because there's a lot of questions. I don't know how many. Did I click this? Okay, yeah. And I clicked shift. Okay. How much of a concert client performance? How many display entities do these blocks need? How many can be used before signature problem hits? It depends on the item model itself too. It's a variable thing. You can have a lot of models just that are simpler and they won't be an issue, and you have like to have 3 items and they will lag the client to death because they have way too many faces. So you just look and see, and you can't really like predict it. These aren't really static values. Why do you prefer server-side modding? Is it challenge, or is it vanilla client compatibility, or just super important to you? Technically both. The challenge is fun. The compatibility is useful. And because I want to finally make that server, I wanted to make 3 years ago, which takes me a long time, but it slowly comes together. And that's the thing why I do. And to be fair, I guess it's my kind of the entire thing now. So why not continue it? I like it. It's fun, and that's what really matters. Yeah, and that's a nice thing. Like you can have Polyfactory, they just say, okay, download resource pack, and you can play together making a factory just like it was modded, and no one needs to install anything. What's your favorite tater? All of them. I don't have favorites. I mean, I guess the classic one I made and Botania one is fun. The irritator is also cool. But there's so many taters. Like this one so server is just like slice of what is on nucleoid. But all taters are cool. I mean, I made the cubic one. Oh, okay. So many questions. I will guess. Sadly, I think I made that variant of side stater too. So, do you think Fabric will ever be able to compete with Spigot in terms of vanilla server running, or do you think it's already there? It could compete, but it's missing a lot of smart mods, like something like Towny, for example. But with enough time and developers, it could just replace it just fine. But it's not like Spigot matters at this point because like people mostly use paper anyway. But maybe it could replace paper too, just a lot of time and just needs a lot of more developers. What would be your thoughts if Mojang made blocks data driven? Kind of depends on how they did it, but the best scenario that's flexible but also kind of have parts hard coded just so they can implement behavior by code in a fine, not terrible way. It would be great. It would allow me, for example, with Polyfactory to just make things code way simple and make way faster, since I could just use blocks and it would be baked instead of using animations. And of course, the most important thing, the block collision boxes could be like more correct to the model instead, like either a bit too small or too big. Yeah, but it would be so nice to just have data-driven blocks. Will you add any server-side mods to Nucleoid? I mean, all of Nucleoid mods are server-side, so yeah, like Nucleoid is entirely server. Everything there is server-side. It's vanilla client. Can we call you the networking wizards? I really technically work on networking, and packet serialization isn't my thing. There might be people. There are people who are better with regular networking. I guess it wouldn't be as correct. How can we get the server-side CC? I can link it again. I guess someone missed it. Yep, it's on Modrinf. You can just search computer craft polymer and it will show. Oh, just click this link. Whew. Can display entities be used to display player entities? Yes, data packers did it before me, of course. But yes, you can do it with some shader hacks. Technically, it was done with armor stands too, of course, with shader hacks, because you can't do it otherwise. Is more preferred to use block display over item display? It should be a bit faster to use block display over item display. Yeah. It should be a bit, because there's less things, but they are a bit more limited. Where are you from? I can say I'm from Poland, and that's about it. And maybe that I'm moving to Poznań soon, so will be fun. Gee, the answers never end. Yeah, server side. That is server side. What tools do you use to avoid monitor problems caused by expensive packet traffic? You mean? Yeah. I just hope nothing breaks, and it's fine. Like I do it by the eye, and I guess F3 menu. And I use how it was called, gadget. Gadget is useful tool for like debugging packets. It works nicely. Not a question, but thank you for doing this Patbox and answering so many questions. there is more. They never ending. They're never ending. Not a question, but no, yeah. So I'm glad people like this stuff. It makes my day, to be fair. A lot of the time when people say nice stuff. Okay, so there are noticeable mode equivalents of plugins that you miss for bigger servers, like Nucleate and managing them. I'm a developer. If I'm missing something, I just write something. So I can't really answer this question because I'm not missing anything. I just write something if I miss it. So yeah, that's why you likely see, that's why I'm making Polyfactory, because I want a server-side tech mod, because I'm missing it for my idea of the server. So yeah, I can just write it so I never miss it. How do server-side mods do with stuff like Geyser? Through modding on Bedrock? Some things works. Some things don't work. Like computer craft won't work because I depend on some weird junk, Java junk just. And that can't be replicated with Bedrock. I also depend on the Brigadiers, which can't really be emulated on Bedrock either, so... But some simple mods like Gone should work. Polyfactory won't work yet, because they don't support things I need, but I'm in a private chat on the Geyser Discord if that helps, and I'm tagging with them because they are working on something. Sometimes. I mean, it's not really super active development, but it slowly goes. I guess they also announced it, so. What do you think has the biggest chance to be data-driven first? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things. I guess items and blocks, maybe. Entities, kinda, but entities are really specific. Status effects are specific, but also possible. Like, I don't think. UIs could be. The GUIs are kind of work on, but like there's a lot of things Mojang changes slowly that are more data driven friendly, so it's hard to tell what will be next. I don't know. We'll see. Let's hope something fun. I just think that Minecraft community is wonderful and Paris thanks you for value devs. Oh, nice. And yeah, it started just like the questions ended, so that's perfect. Just but I will restart my client because it's dying. Yeah, we just ended and game started, so nice. Oh, God, that was a lot of questions. Don't restart the client, just relog. Okay, sure, good to know. So I'm going to remove the item, or did someone else already do it? Yeah.